sort of evolving into. But they've kind of I'm live. Yeah, it's Sam Mitchell for LocalSupport meeting, Harrow Community Network. Yeah, we're just talking about. So this is it's a Jitsi. Google Hangouts is still going on. What they've done is they've dropped support for third-party developers.
Okay.
So we were relying upon various things in the Google Hangout that were kind of connecting stuff up, and that's all gone away. And we also didn't have very much control over various aspects. It was sort of its closed source Google's thing, Then there was a little bit of a, they made a little bit of room for third-party groups to add functionality, and now they've closed it down, so it's like their closed source thing. But this Jitsi is completely open source,
okay.
And so actually it's like you just turn it on and you're in there, and it sort of works. And that gives us a lot more flexibility going future to connect it into our site and try and make it easier for people to get into meetings.
Okay.
So yeah, I've got the agenda. Let's go screen sharing. I can do just that tab. Let's try the entire screen. Make it share. Go there. Ooh. Yeah. So yeah, just look back. Yes, it's been a little while. I think we've both been quite busy. Did you have anything special to add to the agenda? No. In which case, I'll just go through the outstanding action items. So yeah, Dree, who's our sponsor, they've undergone some various rounds of changes, and they've just delivered a new product which we've just now got working on, and I would like to see about migrating LocalSupport to that. Yeah, I've got that there. I probably won't happen now until I come back. There's also we're also having some support from Azure, which is Microsoft's what are they called? Sort of cloud hosting service. So that's another possibility. So ultimately we might try and save some money there. Nothing else from Team London yet. Marilyn has made some more progress on the Do It integration, but it's sort of, I think it's still, yeah, his availability seems to have dropped, so we haven't moved any further there. We're still working on excluding dev avenues from analytics. This Iskren is the kind link, I mean, the kind link people who I think now collaborating with Do It. Did you know about them? So these were some of the people that I met. I met this guy, Iskren, who I think is the CEO, at that event in London. And I think what they've done, yeah, is that they've taken the data dump from the government and basically created a sort of national directory, which basically does the same thing that LocalSupport does, but you can do it for the whole country. But they're a for-profit. Yeah, they're a for-profit company, and so it's all closed source. So we were trying to, but now they've got, they're obviously making connect partnerships with the big people. So anyway, I mean, we sort of talking about them. I was talking to them about, could we not have an API of your data? And then the discussion was like, oh, well, who's going to own the rights to the thing? So it didn't really go very far. But apparently they're featured on the BBC.
All right, okay.
Nominated for Digital SME. Yeah, yeah. So yes, it's interesting, isn't it? Sometimes it seems like, independently of what you're doing, if you can get the right partnerships, although who knows if it will come to anything in the long run. Good news on our side is that now, if you now search for Harrow volunteering without any quotes, we do appear here. So we were on the third page before. So this is now there. So that the first hit is the council's council directory. Then we've got yourself. Then there's Mind in Harrow. There's Indeed, Voltage of Harrow, and then so we're like fifth there. What that reminds me of one of the other action items was, and maybe this was to get the Harrow Community Network onto this page. And it is on that page. And that fantastic. And that may be what.
I've done it before, obviously you hadn't, but he's done it now. So
yeah, well, so and that's probably what's helped us get onto the first page, because yeah, fantastic, great. So yes, that's done as well. Yeah, and so Reach Skills is up on the site, and we contacted them and let them know, and they're pleased, and you're pleased, and Reach Skills on the site seems.
Yeah, I like what they've done. They seem to create their own little pathway. So when you go onto their site,
yeah,
you get so you click their website.
I mean, this is takes us directly into that particular.
So when I looked at it before, it said you've come here from.
Oh, right.
Unless I changed it, maybe try the other.
Oh, maybe it was. No, visitors from. How can we know? Yeah. Yeah, it's good.
Obviously, they've created something special for us.
Yeah, I think they've got the information in the link that we send and so on. So, yeah. So that's all up. And on that note, yes, we can accept that feature deployed. Happy with that one. And we'll go into the reviewing the different bits and pieces. So we've still at the. I mean, I think we still haven't had anybody, any new folks sign up. So it's kind of.
You mean to the developer side of it?
No, I mean to the. We've had actually new people are getting involved on the developer side of it. In terms of the like, we don't have any people who are proposing new organisations to the editor directory. Hello. Not bad, yourself? Yes. So yeah, there's this. It's funny. This bug that we'll only see if the bug has been fixed if when we subsequently approve somebody for an organisation. So anyway, we've also got there's now these kind of structured model that tells us where we are. That tells us that we're in volunteers. And I guess if we go to any of our own ones, I guess we'll try and look for volunteers. We do it, the blue ones. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah. So if we go into the individual one, then it tells us volunteers, organisation. Yeah. All right. That's good. Yep. So we can accept that one. Going on. Yeah. So the events feature is kind of being worked on in the background. It's not. We put it hidden behind a feature flag, so you can't see it. I don't know how much of it is actually on.
Oh, that's amazing.
So yeah, it's not live on the. Okay, and that's. Yeah. So there's a events. Those. That was one I thought wasn't interesting. So. Here we go. Yes, so we've started to put in some functionality that will ultimately become adding new events. I'm not sure that the interface is very usable at the moment. So, but in recent,
I thought what it's more about was about pulling in events.
Yes, in that right, is going to be less important. That's true. Yeah, I mean, for the people who've sort of started working on it, yeah, I'm kind of getting them set up with like creating the events, and then the follow up will be pulling the events in from other things. But that's important to note. So we've got, yeah, that's the event thing is ongoing. I guess, yeah, all of the components that we've, I guess the individual components of the events are all coming for the kind of events. Like we've got all things like events, newsletter, calendar view. And I think these are all things that we created quite a long time ago. It sounds like that yeah, as you say, it's like we, from our experience, we know people are probably not going to come to our site and spend a lot of time putting things in. But if we can pull them in from other areas, and I think that's similar as we're doing with volunteering, and maybe that's missing from our there. So it's like pull in events from other sites. So, and then so it's a given people will be unlikely to add events to our site in addition to other locations. We would like to pull in local events from other sites. Do you have a list of the sites that would be good to pull in from? I know you've shown me a few things in the past. There's your, I guess there's you've got your own event calendar that you update manually.
Will have, won't they? So that's what I was thinking. If people already put the stuff on their own website,
yes,
then it's about bringing that information
yes,
on.
yes. But this one that you're doing at the moment, this is Alex updates it manually.
Yeah, he does it through wherever the website is. He just puts it.
Yeah, he just edits the page. Yeah, which is you know, very highly sensible. You know, get it done. You know, this is I always struggle with people wanting to, particularly in technology, so they're like, right, yes, let's do this and this and this and this. I'm like, just change the edit before. So
but what I found is, so for example, there's a few places that we sometimes have promoted our events.
Right.
But the reality is, we don't get around to it because by the time you put it in one,
yes,
go on to
lots of other places. Yes, yes.
It's just quite time consuming.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, no, I think the same thing with the volunteering is people really don't want, people ideally they would like it to happen magically. You have the thoughts and it just happens. You don't actually want to have to type anything in, do you? But well, we'll work on that. That's you know, a little bit down the line. But like you say, like we looked at this before, didn't we? That they've got a calendar that puts, I mean, it's not Google, it's a Microsoft thing. Yeah, but if we look at a few of the main ones and work out a reliable way of pulling stuff in off them, then that's
it's having a selection, isn't it?
Yeah, and seeing, you know, okay, like out of these 5, well, we could reliably pull off these 3, and then, you know, see how that goes. So there's a couple of, are there any just off the top of your head that are like good sources of them? Yeah. AGK Harrow, activities and events calendar. Yeah, they've got one, haven't they?
Our association disabled. They're just playing their site at the moment, so it's this one. They're just trying it on Google, so it may not be the best example.
No,
might be back to their old system. But
okay. These sound like these people who might be in need of help and support in choosing their website thing, but I guess they're already hooked up with them.
The guy that's done this has an IT background. The reason he's gone for Google is that their problem is people don't update it. So they had an old system that was complex.
It was difficult to update.
Nobody could update it. So what he's doing here is he's trying this because Google Sites is very easy for non-technical person to do.
Relatively speaking. You may remember that I used Google Sites for a prototype of our original site.
Yeah, but I've used Google Sites.
Oh yes, no, I think it's a great. It's like absolutely, and there's other ones now. And he's done. This looks nice. Yeah, we've done a good. You know, and I think absolutely, it's kind of, if you end up with a system that only certain number of people can update, you're in trouble. You know, unless you've got someone who's going to be around for a long time.
Put the link on.
Yeah. I will do. I guess I was looking to see if there was a specific thing about events in there, but I didn't see. But that's right. But there's another one called Wix now.
Yeah.
And yeah, go on.
I'm a trustee of that charity, and somebody's done our website.
Right.
She's not an IT person.
No.
Just offered to do it.
Yeah. There's several now. If you just want a static site, it's Wix, and there's another one that was called Paper Title or something. There was one we were just sort of trying them out as part of what we were doing a design sprint. Wix versus we Squarespace actually was the one that we were trying. But there's a whole series of them now, and they're right.
But somebody else has done it. It looks nice.
Yeah. No. Well, then they're all. I think that there's about 5 or 6 of these different groups who are kind of all promoting this idea that you can quickly create a relatively nice looking website, and they've all got different pros and cons. And although from some perspectives it's not very different. But yeah, anything else? They've got events. Yeah, I think what we're still.
These are sort of some of the larger charities.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, and as a result, they may well have their events updated slightly more frequently, and that's probably to our benefit if we're trying to pull them in. Yeah, that's great. We mentioned each of these has events in a different format. Might need to be screen scraped. Need to investigate what. Yeah. So, and I think that's. Let's say that, and I'll put that at the top here, and that's kind of to indicate that that's we need to be considering that as we do the events thing. Yeah, so we did have some weirdness on our buttons, which I think are now fixed. That's now there. It's done. Adding events into. Yes, new thing to show you. Yes, Orlena, a new. Well, she's been working on it for several months. She has done this new map list integration. So now, when you mouse over here, it goes to the part of the map that is on, and it opens that thing. So you can we now have. We'll have a little play with that. You can use 2 fingers to scroll.
Okay, now it's getting confusing.
The Mac.
Yeah, that's good. And we've got moving down. It shows out as well.
Yeah, so that I think that was previously. I think Marilyn adjusted it so that if there are more than one in the same location, then it ends up as one pin with several elements there. That's if that's really good to you, I will push that onto production. Yeah, so there we go. Rather than doing that. Integration. There we go. Yes. So I'll push that out. Okay. This one I think is done. So we had this. We switched it so that the it isn't deployed yet. We switched it so that volunteers. Yeah, I think it's not deployed yet, but we switched around before, and that is deployed. But the volunteers is now the homepage. But because the part of the site still thinks that the organizations is the homepage, so the home button is not highlighted when we're on volunteers. So just change it to be consistent now, so that however you come to this location, whether you come to home or to volunteers, they're just both highlighted to indicate that the home is that. I don't know if we should adjust that. And now when you're on organizations, it's like that. So that seemed what I was worried about, perhaps in a paranoid fashion, was as it currently is now, you might think that home will take you to a different page when actually it doesn't. So that seems reasonable. Yeah. So that can that can go out. That one. Oh, well, that's just upgrades in the background. Yeah, that is that one as well. The pins have been aligned. That's all good. Okay, and then so just other things that people are working on. We've got one person working on posting a social media feed when someone organization will go out to Facebook and Twitter and so on. That's in progress. Another volunteer, and they're struggling with the testing aspects of it. I think they've got a basic functionality there. We're giving them some help and support. So one of those things where we'll keep helping them. Hopefully that will come in time. Also, the feedback form that we've got that, so that will go. Actually, that's got a. Just go. It's actually done an image of it in his pull request. Yeah, so this is an intern who's working with us, and he's done a lot of great work. But yeah, so he's popped in. You can see there. So that's just a link to that form that you can use it for a while. Yeah, and that's So that's a state of play. Yeah, and that's pretty much all of the items in there are all just related to events. We've added in, the priority about pulling in events from other sites. We'll get that voted on. There's still this being able to post our volunteer ops to do it, which I think is still, it's kind of a feature that I think if we want to get it, because there's all different kinds of features. Like, for example, things like linking the feedback into the site is kind of trivial. Someone can do it.
Yeah.
We get it deployed. Something like automated posted social media feeds, a little bit more complex, but still can be done with a bit of support. Something like this do it integration, particularly because of the way it's quite a complex one, and it's
not just a technical side, is it? It's how you're going to manage it.
Yes, it's this particular thing, as we discussed before, that we can set it up so that we would use a pair of keys to post to a dedicated account. If we want to enable other organizations to post to their dedicated accounts, they can't do it via login. They have to actually give us their keys. So I think we should still try to move it forward so that at least that would be, I think it would be an interesting thing in the autumn if we had it set up so that you were able to post to do it opportunities for VAR. Yeah. And then you could because I presume at the moment that you're posting your do it opportunities to VAR via the do it site, of course, and then they're obviously showing up in our site. And I can almost imagine it may be difficult for us to make the posting experience for you as seamless as it is on Do It. Yeah. I don't know. I'd like to think we might improve on it. But then if we get to the point where it actually became more convenient for you to do it through HCN, and then it was also going out to Reach Skills and Teamland and other things, then actually you'd be saying, well, why bother with that do interface? We can do it in this one place. And then if it works for you, then that's actually something that would be potentially of interest and value to other organizations in the bar. So anyway, we'll see what we can get to. Anything else that you wanted to bring up about the site, or things we should be prioritizing? Or
no, it sounds good.
Yeah, no, we've had a little progress. A little progress. It's not, people. Sometimes it seems like nothing's happening at all, but it does. I'm really pleased with this. The map integration. That's a nice.
I was just thinking as we talked when we first looked at where they come in. I'm meeting on Friday. They're quite low level for people from Harrow Council.
Oh yeah.
I was thinking actually having a map on the Harrow Council website would be quite a good place, because they've got a volunteering page, which is one of the ones that when you search Harrow volunteering comes up.
Right.
Yeah, not on there. So basically, they've got a link to do it, which isn't working. But actually,
we didn't do it.
No, I think that's just their error message.
Right.
There should be. It should show the
list
search tools. So you put like location.
Yes, yes.
That's what it's supposed to look like.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, I'm thinking if people are going to this page, first at the moment it isn't very useful.
No.
Instead of having to do it, they could have our map on there.
Yes.
So I'll follow that. The people I'm meeting on Friday aren't senior enough.
No.
But what it is internally, they're trying to they set up a Twitter account themselves. I'm just helping them.
Yes.
Get their stuff on it.
Yes. Yes. Well, and if they're proposing to do it, yes, we could say to them, we could have an embedded map on there because showing not only the do it things but also other the root skills and
I can't see why they wouldn't.
No, well, I think it would only be just there's two things. One, that they presumably won't want to pay for it, and two, anything that seems logistically additionally challenging is they're probably averse to. But anyway, yes, absolutely. So certainly
drive the traffic there, won't it?
Yeah.
So you're right. I don't think they would pay for it. I think it was simple logistically. Hopefully, they would do it.
Well, it's interesting whether different. They could just have a link to the Harrow Community Network, or then right
instead of that, it's because that's an embedded.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, this will be what they've done with this budget. Yes, they've got. I think that's an iframe. Yeah, so that's basically another web page embedded in there, and yeah, I mean, what one could have. I mean, that would be the interesting thing actually about ways going forward is if we made it easy for people to embed a version of this, like just the map. We could set it up so that there was an endpoint which would be like something like this, say. Yes. Right, and then people could basically stick that in a little iframe, and then they would get that.
We could put it on our website.
Yeah.
So we could test it on file then.
Yeah, that's right. That's an interesting idea. So let's add that. So we've got
because it's now driving. It's there now, isn't it? It's driving the traffic to it. That's what we're not doing yet. We've got the site now.
We've got the sites.
Drive people to it, especially now you've got to do it on the beach.
Yeah, no, I mean, at the moment, people, we don't have a lot of sources that are sort of directing people to come to this site. Yeah, that's an interesting idea. Okay. Yeah, I'll put that up here and make sure you vote on that. Yeah. I guess there is also the if we look at analytics. So I've been I'm doing like monthly reports for the NHS, and so we're giving the reports about the yeah, I mean it's going well in that I think they're very pleased with it, and we've got there's a few people doing stuff. I mean, it certainly hasn't exploded in terms of activity. I think so yeah, I mean the manageable. This is users by time of day. Yeah, so this is probably for. This is us. I mean, this is the overview for us. So majority of people from the UK. No, this is HCN. And so this one, it says the last 7 days ago. It's put on monthly. There we go. So we can see 254 unique individuals, coming to the site over the last month. I think, and then we can kind of see people spend a couple of minutes on the site, 63% of them are just, you know, kind of not really finding what they want and moving on. We can look at the audience overview here. It's giving us demographics, language, country. That says, I think the most interesting. I wonder if I turned on the, we've got demographics. I've got to enable that. So on other sites, we're getting, it might take a while to get this in. It starts to give us data about the ages and the gender of the.
I guess what would be useful is where they're going to. Because I guess the idea of our site is that people come to it, find an opportunity, they're interested, and then go
yes.
to it or the reach or
yes. Yeah. So what we can see if we look, for example, through the behavior flow, is we can see this is the people coming in on the landing page. And so we can sort of see here, that's the last month. We look at the last month here. So we can see, like, you know, actually even stronger here, we can see people coming in through the landing page. Yeah. Most of them are just not finding what they want. But now this one, I think we can't, so these are people who just, that's our server doesn't receive any more requests from them. So that may be that they close the browser, they switch to a different tab, or what have you. I guess it would be that one. We'll highlight traffic through here. I mean, we've got, it's interesting, what's this one? What's this one? I think that must be, that's like bots trying to get into the site. What we can in principle see is where people are coming from to the site. See, there's like, I mean, these are the, oops, didn't do that. Yes. Here, this is like, you know, most people landing on there. Other pages that people are spending time on, and so on. I mean, then this is like, you know, I don't know, some browsers like adding that or what have you. But so, exit pages. There we go. Exit pages. That's not really telling us. People, like, this is like the last page that people looked at. So we can see, for example, people are finding certain organizations, and then they've got the information. Maybe they phone them, maybe they don't do anything. We're not sure. I think acquisition is the one. So if we look at the incoming, we can also see, so we can see that we get, this was in the thirds, of direct traffic, people looking directly at the site, referred, or people discovering it in search. So if we look at the referral, we can see, yeah, so these are the places that, so we can see now, yeah, partly because you've linked to us, we've had another 65 people come to us through you over the course of the month. So absolutely, if we had something in the council website, that could be a big boost for this, and we can see other people coming in through some other search engines through other places. Searching.
There's that little diagram with the lines.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was the behavior. Behavior flow. Yeah.
What I just noticed was this group. So they're quite a lot into.
Well, so what we've got here is this
volunteer opportunities. People come in at the home page and go into volunteer opportunities. It's the same.
It is, yes.
So I'm just wondering whether the home button should be almost home/volunteer.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I guess what corresponds to is somebody clicking on that.
Yeah, it takes you to there.
Yeah, it doesn't. No, it's true. I mean, we could. I mean, it's funny, isn't it? But arguably, we could say that we don't need a volunteers button. Yeah. That I mean, I mean, the funny thing is that landing on this page, we're landing here, and this is telling, we've got this hierarchy networking, this is all part of the search engine optimization, but this is, it's not, you're landing here, it's, or let's go back to the home. If we land, there, we see the map, we've got this little volunteers, I mean, it's a search for local volunteer organizations.
Maybe we should say home volunteer opportunities in bold there. I
mean, very possibly. I mean, I think for a person landing on this the first time, it might take them a while to work out what these things. I mean, they'll probably get it eventually. It says retail volunteer, but if we think about other sites and what they have, like, it would be sensible to, like, I don't know if, like, It's a good example of a different site that has, oh, I don't know, searching for stuff. But I mean, I guess, let's just look at Do It. I mean, what they have, I mean, they've got this sort of volunteer for people and causes that matter to you, your postcode or town. So it's kind of, they've got sort of an immediate call to action. So we'll put in that thing, and then, because it's presumably if we do so. So awesome. There. Interesting. I mean, they just say 13 to, I mean, home opportunity search.
But you could do, if you go back to ours, it could be something like volunteer opportunities in Harrow, and then similar wording to those. So, and then
it could be encouraging them to do a search.
Yeah.
I mean, it could, yeah, say volunteer opportunities in Harrow, you know, browse below or search for a term. Yeah. It could be an instruction around that, couldn't it? I think you're right.
It's that volunteer.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's again it's a discussion with the search engine optimization. It's like, we must have the name of the thing on the, like, there's although it's
but
written.
Then here you could still have it in this opportunity there.
I don't.
You could keep it there. You know, maybe change the way of
I don't know that the position per se. I think it could be even down here. It's partly this Google thing of they like to have, you know, the name, but specifically in heading 1 and in text. So the problem is that we've got the name and humans can read it, but the robots don't. But I think in terms of, I think we have there an issue with conflict between search engine optimization and usability.
Yeah, so those people come in because they get in the like.
Right, exactly. So I think, well, let's add this one here and say, so this is adjust text on home page to explain this is volunteering directory. So replace this text with, it would be something like Harrow volunteering opportunities.
Yeah.
And then some instructions to use browse or use the search bar. Yeah. Okay. And then I guess we had another thing there, which was, should it like remove volunteering tab?
Do not remove it, because if you then go to organisations,
you want to be able to get back to where the volunteers are.
Confusing to have a page/volunteers.
I mean, it's funny about the home button seems.
People like to have a home button, don't they?
I don't know. Well, it's an interesting. I mean, I think, you know, for example, Do It don't have a home button. I mean, I think for anybody, most people who, I mean, I guess the thing to do is maybe it's better to have the home in the bookmarks. Yeah. So not bookmarks, sorry, breadcrumbs. Yeah. If we have home in the breadcrumbs rather than on the top tab, would that be? Yeah, that sounds like a good way, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay. So we say move home tab to, and that I think would actually make the bookmarks breadcrumbs. Might be less confusing than home and volunteer. Let's go through the same place. And home tab to breadcrumbs. I'll just pop those in so I'm not sure I get more. Close it on. Great. Okay. Yeah, that's some good ideas. Yes, well, we'll see when we've been doing this for a long time, haven't we? It's almost 5 years now. yes, I don't know. We'll see if we can ever get to that point where it's well, or you know, I think that the Holy Grail is sort of building something that people really start to get value from, isn't it?
Yeah.
That they start using and they're getting useful information. At the moment, not so many people are coming there, and they're maybe a bit confused about what to do. Yeah, and this is not such useful. This tells us, like here, that this is the 97 sessions came into organizations and organizations search. So they landed originally, and then there's like here, this is all the other pages that very small amounts of people are going to. But you can certainly see from that some people are discovering individual organizations as a result. Okay, great. Well, I think that's yeah, and
I did send you something. I don't know if it was any use or of interest. I can't remember much about it.
Yeah, I think you said it was about technology for supporting like care.
It's help, so
yeah. It's that I think that does look interesting. I'm not sure that, like, because I think that probably that they're looking for technology that is very specific. I don't think I want to be in Japan when it's happening. So it was lovely going down the place where I met the guy Iskrem and things before. That was a very interesting event. I'd be certainly up for one. I'm thinking I must do like one get out and meet people a week. But, okay, great. Well, there we go. And that our Jitsi has worked. And